Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first Q&A of 2024. Merry New Year, beef jerky. That's the traditional sort of greeting. It's trading places, especially out for the day of the Christmas. I hope we all had a good start to 2024. It always takes a little while to catch up. You know, it's always a little bit on the quiet side, but we'll come up to that one later because we're doing last year on the CX, and also more importantly this week, I can remember it for Paul Glibberly, and he said about airports. He said, "What's the crack with airports?" So for me, it's more like airports on the CX, because if you're doing airports on a regular basis, like a guy I used to speak to, then you kind of get used to it. You know where you're going, you know who to speak to, you know you go straight there, you know what passes you need, that kind of stuff. But with the CX, everyone's different, so I kind of thought I'd flag up a few of them, a few issues that you might come across with. This is what you guys had to say. Domain name guy says, he says, for multi-drop drivers or courier drivers collecting air freight, etc., picking up for Australia is usually must be at the back of the depot before 4ish, and collecting for the States usually 6 p.m.ish, as it's out of hours, 9 hours in front of us. So it's to do with like how far it is ahead of us, like, you know, to do with the time zones. There is generally more pressure on drivers to get there's generally more pressure on drivers to get to Oz Freight Depot, back of the depot, before it's early. So what he's saying is, depending on their time difference, is how quickly you've got to get back. He also goes on and said, if couriers need to have a portable, because I said sometimes they will say must be able to print out its own paper. These things they'll ask you for. Must have a HIAB, must have ADR, must have, a clown on board. It said if couriers need to have a portable power on the road, etc., Jackery or Bluetooth, BLUETTI, or EcoFlow solar power systems are ideal and available on Amazon, and the 1,000 watt or 2,000 watt are the best. You just need 2 times 100 watt foldable solar panels, etc. The approximate cost is £1 a watt. So if that's 2,000 watts, that's £2,000 then. No, I presume that's to do with the foldable bit. Doesn't sound cheap, but it could be, you know, have a look into it if it's the kind of thing for you. You know, like I say, for the amount of times, there are certain things that for the amount of times you're going to use them, do you actually really need to have this stuff on board? I kind of, you know, there are certain things, you know, sack barrows are handy. PPE you definitely need. If you've got a tail lift, you're going to want a pump truck. You're going to want straps, you're going to want blankets. But to have to carry, I don't know, like wooden blocks on the occasion, or maybe not wooden blocks, but there are certain things where you think, I have used that once in a year. Do I truly need to have this all the time? That'd be an interesting topic. Things that you've only ever had to do once, or things that you've carried and never used. Josh Shaw says East Midlands Airport uses a stupid one-way system that means all bay reverses are blindsides. I've never done East Midlands, but thanks for letting me know, John. Anthony Deando says, what about going airside, getting escorted, don't forget security? I've never actually done airside. I've only ever done the side where you're in the kind of the customs bit, the holding bit. Ironically enough, our main guy on this is Godzilla's, who's presumably you might be enjoying a well-earned break or something like that, because he's done a lot of airports. Maybe we'll get back to that one next week. Who knows? So, and the nefarious Steve Campbell, he said my favourite airport run I did was Swissport at Stansted, and or 1 6 metre long crate to a Ryanair hangar at Stansted Airport. I was sent there from a mustard factory above Cambridge empty, was on the job for around 5 minutes. It took longer to wait to be loaded, so I didn't strap it either. Tipped, and my boss was shocked as she didn't read the notes correctly and assumed that I was taking it to Ryanair in Chelmsford, so I ended up parking up for the night in a nice easy rest area at the A20 down the road. I was there for almost 24 hours until a job pinged up from Romford to Blackburn, just as my boss forgot that I was in a 56 plate when he booked it and tried to find me a little job to take. So he basically ended up going into the zone in a non-zone vehicle. Swallowed the loss. Oh dear. Happens sometimes, doesn't it? What do I have this way? I had this week, I'm in the 26 tonne. There's a video coming up, sort of about 26 tonne, because Mic's off sick at the moment. And I picked up the smallest load possible in the biggest. I'm in a 26-ton truck. I collected a mirror. It was about that big. But in fairness, it was one of those jobs that needed to do in a hurry up, and I was in the right area. So it was kind of doable, but just for the sake of it. That was the smallest job I've ever picked up in the largest vehicle I've ever driven. Right, so last year on a CX, I want to say, have we got a pause on this? You got a pause. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot my pen. And you have to write down timestamps, otherwise Nick, I will catch up with your videos. It's just a bit mental at the moment. Gets upset. Right, so last year on the CX. Now I had this comment twice, so I think the guy's keen to have it out, like, you know. And this is from DW. Starts with warning. The reality of joining the CX for someone who wishes he'd had this knowledge before wasting the money on the subscription. This comment is not intended for the video publisher, that's me, just people like me, like him, who were using these videos for educational purposes. I feel it is my responsibility to inform and educate, and I will be given any opportunity, comments on videos, poor wages, from £6 an hour. You'll be lucky to ever reach minimum wage after taking off your business costs. Poor amount of work on the fringes of the UK, which is true. You are at a massive advantage if you live between Manchester and London. It's that main block you want to be in, really. We'll do a link on that one. Not enough work to get you near home, again on the fringes. Expect dead mile. The only solution is to stay out all night. Shippers take advantage of the bidding system, expect a premium service but won't pay for it. CX needs regulation. Some shippers won't pay you. You won't get any help from the CX. They won't even reply to your complaint. Only way to get paid is small claims court, but then you run the risk of your company going bankrupt or a fee of being equal to the money you owed. So it didn't work out for DW. I just share what goes on. You guys make your own choice. That's it. Saulman Patel says he's enjoying the videos. He said, I'm new to the game, started working for a firm on Amazon multi-contract, multi-drop, £135 a day, but it's back-breaking work, 300 plus parcel, 200 stops a day. Just bought a 2015 custom high roof van, planning on moving over to same-day long-distance courier work. I've signed up with CX, but plan on doing a mix of multi-drops and CX stuff for a few weekends. Not a lot of work on weekends. If you're going to do the CX, you're better off during the week. Nervous but excited about getting started. Solomon Patel, good luck, my friend. I hope it works out for you. Domain name guy says, having driven as a van driver and a 7.5 ton driver for many years, I don't miss driving for a living or driving at all. One bit is nice, but the travelling at 56 miles an hour most of the day, I don't miss the driver's CPC, parking fines, points on a licence, mounting a parcel still out 5 days a week, e.g. the multi-drop. No one likes multi-drop. Multi-drop is hard work. But I do enjoy watching the vlogs on the transport industry and the banter in the comments. I miss the driver banter and the cheap coffee at vending machines now. Amazon coffee, now free. Often free. I got one in Rexel the other day. Helped myself to a cup of coffee. Very nice. In Liverpool. Delivering solar panels. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Balaclava Buddy says, the Courier Exchange, just to clarify, the Courier Exchange doesn't own the jobs, just a digital marketplace. We as drivers need to up rates, go against the shippers. They don't have the vans or the shipping methods to deliver to the customer base without the vans or the CX. They wouldn't be on it. It's the business year that's down, no doubt. The CX has helped me so much in the past, get my customers from it, but we keep sucking up a ring of certain shippers. He's enjoying the YouTube. It's difficult, isn't it? The problem that we've got, and I've gone through this before, is you can't turn around and say you've got to charge a minimum amount for a job. Because what if you happen to be in Portsmouth and a job pings up, go back to Dunstable? You go, brilliant. That's taking me right back to my front door. I'll give them that one cheap. And you go, well, no, you can't give them that one cheap. You've got to give them like a standard rate, which means that somebody else might win the job, despite the fact they don't live in Dunstable, and then do the dead miles going home. It doesn't make any sense. It's an auction. It's a bidding platform. You bid what you are prepared to bid for. And you will get people that put stupidly low bids in. And they will probably go, we call it the conveyor belt of fools. Where am I with that one? But it is what it is. and it works or it doesn't, like, you know. So, and you just got to decide whether it works for you. I don't tell anybody whether they should join it. I make no aspersions. All I do is pass on the information that I see and the information that you give me, and I wish everybody the best of luck. I do. I just want everyone to be happy, but good luck. And finally on this one, the Sundar says, I'm trying to join the CX world for a full-time job. Please, I need suggestions to join. Is this a good time to join? No. No, this is the quiet period. The bit where theoretically, the lead up to Christmas is the busy period, and then after Christmas is the quiet period. Although I will say, I didn't see it get particularly busy on the lead up to Christmas, and it seems to have levelled out a little bit. So it seems to be getting harder and harder. Prices that I'm finding, people want it more and more competitive, despite the fact everything seems to have gone up. That's what I see. What you see, I don't know. So, but anyway, whatever you guys decide to do, and you make your decisions, I'll just give you the information that I've got. You make your decisions accordingly. Whatever you decide to do, I wish you the better luck. Right, we're on trucks now. Ken Warburton says, the lane departure system's a good idea in theory if we had excellent roads with perfect service. In the real world, the roads are terrible with too many potholes that need to be avoided. The only thing I ever do with a lane departure system is that. The second I get in, I turn it off, or I wait for it to buzz because I've forgotten to turn it off, and then I turn it off. It is nothing but an absolute pain, to the stage that when I jumped into the 26-ton, Mick, who was feeling ill and had to go home, said to me, oh, and by the way, there's the button to turn off the lane departure system. When I spoke to my old transport manager, he turned around and I went, it drives you mad, he said, turn it off. I don't think the lane departure system works particularly well for anybody. Adaptive cruise control I'm still using, although thanks to Steve, Steve Campbell, I know how to turn it off. Although it hasn't got it on the Merc and I don't miss it, but you'll see because there's a video coming up about the Merc. And finally on trucks, Benzaz says, as a truck driver, I always create places on Google Maps which are very hard to find to help other delivery guys to do the same. It would be nice if everyone would do the same. It's a good idea. I don't use Google Maps. I use Waze and Road Lords, one on either side. One is handy for traffic, one is better for bridges, although not always. I mean, I got one the other day, and I thought, oh, that looks a bit tricky going that way. I'll go the other way and use Road Lords. And the first thing it tried to do was take me right on a no right turn. Oh, that's useful, isn't it? You never know. You never know. You just do the best you can. And so, miscellaneous. Simon Derry says, I've got an ex-Goody sat-nav. I have no problem with searching the destinations. It seems my setup is different. It's probably changed since I bought that one. It was years ago. Saying that you can't fault its next one, but it hasn't let me down. I can't. Road Lords isn't infallible, but I doubt any of them are infallible, and I find it okay. Raffalicious says, oh, lovely. He says, lovely house exposed beams. Did a video on it a long time ago. I'll do you a link. Like I say, I bought it interest only years and years ago, and I've been very, very lucky to live here. But it's getting to the stage now where it gets harder and harder to keep, and the kid might be moving out soon. I think they're sort of moving in together, her and boyfriend Dave, and then it might be time for a little, smaller place for me and the wife. Just, don't know. We'll see. Been here a while. I don't know. Still making my mind up. And goes B says house tour. There's nothing to tour, my friend. There is nothing to tour. And finally, in conclusion, because I forgot to do it at the beginning, where are we now? 13:56. Shiddy says, what's the most reliable van you've ever owned? Please, can you make a video? Thank you. So that should have been question of the week, and I forgot to do it. And of course I will, Shiddy. I'll make you a video on that one and what I think is the most reliable van I ever owned and how to go about doing it. In the meantime, welcome to 2024. Let's see what it holds for everybody, and let's hope that you guys out there get an opportunity to take care and take money.